Hello everybody and welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we are back with another footy commentary video. Haven't done one of these in a little while. I've had this video idea to rank seasons from forward since 2000. So I thought I'd make a video about it today. Footy season hasn't quite ended yet. There's still the AFL draft as well as the AFLW final series to get through. So I thought I'd get this video out now before it's too late, and without further ado, let's get started with the ranking of, in my opinion, the 10 best individual seasons from AFL forwards since 2000. So first up on the list, we have in 10th spot, Eddie Betts in 2016. The fan favourite small forward hit his prime in 2016 for Adelaide, booting a career-high total of 75 goals, 66 of those in the home and away season and a further 9 of those in the 2016 final series. He was constantly applying forward half pressure, he was setting up goals for teammates, he was providing spectacular highlights, and he was just an absolute cult figure at the Adelaide Football Club, easily their best forward of that time period. And the reason I have placed him 10th on my list for best individual seasons from forward since 2000 is because it is a lot harder to kick goals in the modern era, and is especially a lot harder for small forwards to kick a lot of goals like Betts did in 2016 in the modern era.
Dangerous because it was Crows with the numbers at ground level. It's still in. Eddie fooled them all. Escaped. Eddie Betts. No.
Next up on the list in 9th spot, I have got Lance Franklin's 2014 season. 2014 was the first year that Lance Buddy Franklin would be playing for the Sydney Swans, as he still does today. He had an incredible first season for the Swans, kicking 79 goals, picking up his 3rd Coleman medal, producing some spectacular highlights, and becoming an instant fan favourite and a cult figure at the Sydney Swans. Franklin also surpassed a big milestone in 2014, playing his 200th career game, in which he kicked an incredible 9 goals and also missed a couple of opportunities at his potential 10th goal in his 200th game.
And it's Franklin again. Open goal square. He might try for a 70-metre goal, and he really would be worth all the money they're paying him. Give him a longer contract!
Next up in 8th spot, I have got Josh Kennedy's incredible 2016 season. Josh Kennedy produced an incredibly consistent 2016 season, booting at least 1 goal in every single match of the season, including the one final he played in that year. So that is an incredible feat. He's also the last player to have kicked 80 goals in a season. He kicked 82 goals this year, which is his best tally throughout his career, and one of the best tallies produced by any forward in the modern era. He averaged 3.6 goals per game, and in round 1 of the 2016 season, he produced arguably one of the all-time great games from a key forward, booting 8 goals from his 16 marks and 25 disposals, as well as also having 4 goal assists.
Getter inserts him. This looks good for Kennedy, but it slides past Grundy, very wary and getting more and more concerned, and it gets there. Great goal from Kennedy.
Next up in 7th spot, I've got Tom Hawkins in 2020. 2020 was by far Tom Hawkins' career best season, and it showed, with him winning the Coleman by a fair margin, as well as being the leading goal scorer after the final series as well. He booted 49 goals and was also tied with Dangerfield for the most goal assists as well. 49 goals might not sound like much, however you need to consider that this was a shortened season with shortened quarters, so of course the Coleman medal winner wasn't going to kick as many goals as they normally would. They averaged a bit over 2 goals a game, potentially with longer quarters, the 20-minute quarters instead of 16-minute quarters. This would have been up around the 3 goals a game mark. Combine that with the fact that he had the most disposals out of any key forward, as well as the most goal assists out of any player, along with Dangerfield, and he really just had an incredible season. And an unpopular opinion, but I honestly think he was better than Lachie Neale this season.
Very early, Mays had a little grab, so Dangerfield prominent early, isn't it? And that is a lovely kick. It gives Hawkins every chance, and he gobbles it up and kicks the first of the night.
Next up in 6th spot, I've got Jeremy Cameron for his efforts in the 2013 season. Now, Jeremy Cameron had an absolutely outstanding 2013 season, kicking 62 goals. Now, that is a fair bit less than most other players on this list. However, you need to consider that Cameron was playing for arguably the worst side of all time. GWS at this point were only in their 2nd year of existing in the AFL competition. They managed only 1 win this season and had a percentage of just over 50%. So this really was not a good side at all. And Jeremy Cameron was just about the only good player on that team. He didn't have a lot of good delivery inside forward 50 at all, so to kick 62 goals and win the best and fairest in this side was a pretty remarkable effort.
Hoskin Elliott deep, Brogan goes to ground, umpire ticks that off. Keith feeling pretty nervous about things, and he's not feeling any better now because Jeremy Cameron has put through his 7th.
Now for this next one, we have to go back a bit further because in 5th place I've put Matthew Lloyd in the season 2000. Lloyd of 2000 was the first player on this list to have kicked 100 goals in that season. Obviously Matthew Lloyd was playing on probably the best AFL team of all time. This was a team that won 21 games and only lost 1 game in the home and away season. They also won the premiership this year, so yeah, obviously Matthew Lloyd had some pretty good delivery up the field, but that doesn't really take away from just how good he was. Obviously he was playing in a bit of a higher scoring era where there was less congestion, so that does help him certainly kick a few more goals. But I think, yeah, it still was a great season for Matthew Lloyd in 2000 and worthy of a spot on this list.
Just 22 years of age. History. He's got
it. Next up, in 4th spot on the list, we have Fraser Gehrig in his 2004 season. Fraser Gehrig is the last St Kilda player to have kicked 100 goals in a season, and he kicked that 100th goal in a very memorable prelim final, which St Kilda actually lost, some saying due to the fans running onto the ground, halting play and halting St Kilda's momentum. Fraser Gehrig managed all of this in a side with a very good forward line that were very capable of kicking goals, so it wasn't just Fraser Gehrig kicking all the goals in that St Kilda team of 2004. There was a couple other players like Stephen Milne, Nick Revolt also kicking plenty of goals as well. So I think that makes this feat of kicking 100 goals especially impressive for the G-Train, as they called him. Yeah, very good season did the G-Train have in 2004.
For his 10th. Comes in. The big build-up. The big result. Fraser's got the perfect 10.
Up next in 3rd spot, I've got Brendan Favola in 2008. Favola in 2008 fell just 1 goal short of the 100 goal mark, but the reason I've put him higher than Matthew Lloyd and Fraser Gehrig is because that he played in a very ordinary side that year. Carlton finished outside the top 8, which is something you couldn't say about St Kilda in 2004 or Essendon in 2000, and I think that makes his tally all the more impressive. He didn't have the best delivery going inside forward 50, the best midfield delivering the ball to him, so yeah, it really wasn't easy for him to kick a lot of goals, but he still did it anyway.
It's looking good, it's going and good, his career best. It's been all about Fev.
In second spot now, making his second appearance on this list, I've got Matthew Lloyd in 2001. Matthew Lloyd in 2001 had an incredible season, and in my opinion was significantly better than he was in his 2000 season, despite actually kicking less goals. In 2001, he was just simply so far ahead of the rest of the competition. He actually managed 46 more goals than the second highest goal scorer of 2001, and he is so far the only player on this list to have averaged 5 goals in that season. Yeah, it was a truly incredible season from Matthew Lloyd. Essendon were good, not quite as good as they were in 2000, but still pretty good. And Matthew Lloyd was even better.
What can he do here? This for his 10th goal on the siren. He's done it. Look at that record. What a way to finish a game with a new record here at Colonial.
Now in my number one spot for the best individual season from a forward since 2000, perhaps to no surprise, I've got Lance Franklin in 2008. Franklin in 2008 arguably produced one of the best seasons from any player ever. He was not your classic lead-up full forward, he was more of that centre-half forward role, so he did a lot of work up the field as well as kick a whopping 113 goals, which is the biggest tally of anyone in the 2000s. Yeah, Franklin was just simply unstoppable this season. He averaged 4 goals and 15 disposals a game, and arguably his best performance not only of the 2008 season but of his career came in the qualifying final against the Bulldogs, where he booted 8 goals, which for a final, that is just an incredible total.
99 goals. Lance Franklin joins the 100 club, and people power has spoken. Out they come by their thousands.
So that'll be it for today's video. I hope you did all enjoy. This one took quite a while to put together. If you have any thoughts on my list, if you have any ideas on what should be different, then please do let me know. And of course, if you did enjoy, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.